Do you know what? It's genuinely such a shame. This crop of England players are sensational. This is the best crop of England players that we have ever had. We are truly brilliant. We're a world class squad capable of winning anything. And we are going to waste this squad. We're going to waste this historic opportunity of going to Germany, England, lifting silverware in Berlin. We're going to waste it all on pledging loyalty to a man so woefully inept, so clearly out of his depth, so obviously not the man for the job as Gareth Southgate. The choice is so simple. England can basically keep Gareth Southgate and we can guarantee being valiant losers in Germany. Or we can be brave, we can be daring, we can be clever, we can be innovative, and we can appoint somebody who is a winner, who is clearly capable of taking this sensational, flawless group of players to silverware. And it really is as simple as that. If we persevere with Gareth Southgate, England will win the square root of nothing. If we're bold and decisive and do something clever, we will win it. And it is as simple as that. If we persevere and try and somehow preserve our relationship with a man as cowardly as Gareth Southgate, we will go nowhere. It really is. And it's so disheartening. It's such a shame. You know, I was at Wembley the other night. I had a wonderful, wonderful time. And then the football started. And we're watching England play against Malta, and we're watching us struggle. We're watching us make hard work of it. We're watching us be totally and utterly devoid of any ideas. We're watching us be devoid of any inspiration. An insipid performance in front of 90,000 fans. Like never before have I seen this squad just look so stale. It's gone wrong. There's no invigoration. And look, I've never, or certainly most recently, never been a fan of Gareth Southgate. But the Southgate loyals were onto something at certain points. There was some good things that he did with this squad. And one thing that they would do is play with pride and passion and further 3 lines on their shirt. That's gone. Even the things that he was supposed to be good at are now gone. And we saw it the other night against Malta, and we've seen it again tonight. And people are already spinning it. People are already being really kind to Gareth Southgate. You know, talking about being unbeaten in the group. Of course we're unbeaten in the group. We're the best team by a mile in that group. Yeah, we went and we won in Italy. What an impressive result. England don't go to Italy. Well, we do now. That's how good we are. Because we can go to Italy and win over there. Because they've got a geezer leading the line who doesn't get in the West Ham team. He couldn't get in the West Ham team. Gone are the days of Totti and Ravanelli and Baggio and Del Piero and Zola. This is a poor Italian team. So yeah, England finishing above Italy. On paper looks great. Over history looks great. But we're living it. We witnessed it. We've seen how woeful Italy have been. Italy haven't been to the last 2 World Cups. That's how average they are. And people are constantly saying, you know, we've already qualified, so it doesn't matter. Playing against Malta the way that we did was woeful. And it was totally and utterly unacceptable. And how we have allowed a man so inept as Gareth Southgate to be in charge of this glorious crop of footballers, I do not know. England are elite. The best centre-forward in the world is English. The best midfielder in the world is English. There are 4, 5 treble winners. Guardiola's treble winners. 5 of them English. 5 of them. That's not including Kane, by the way. That's not including Bellingham, by the way. That's not including Bukayo Saka, by the way. That's not including, Declan Rice, by the way. That's how good this England squad are. There are a couple of little tweaks you could talk about in the England squad. You could maybe have a conversation around the goalkeeper. Do we have a good enough goalkeeper? You could definitely have a conversation around the second centre-half. Whoever partners John Stones isn't going to be world-class. It can be a really good player. It could be Mark Gahey. Really good player. Reliable player, but not world-class. So you could talk about that. You could talk about the third midfielder, maybe. But the reason that England will not win in Germany is Gareth Southgate. Simple as that. That is the reason. And, we can mask it. We can talk about certain issues with the squad. We could talk about certain frailties with the squad. But the issue is clearly the manager. A truly brilliant, world-class squad is what we have. And we are wasting it on a manager who would not get a Premier League job. Gareth Southgate would be totally and utterly outfoxed every single week in the home or away dugout in the Premier League. Do you know what? I was having a conversation recently with a fan that was making a case for Gareth Southgate. So he's done a brilliant job and we've got to stick with him and he's the best England manager since Alf Ramsey. All right, mate. I went, who do you support? He went, Burnley. That's interesting. If Vincent Kompany were to be sacked, would you have Gareth Southgate? He went, absolutely not. Well, okay, that's a bit weird, isn't it? I went, would you rather have Gareth Southgate, the man that you've said is the best England manager since Sir Alf Ramsey, or Vincent Kompany, a man really struggling in the Premier League? What would you rather? He went, Kompany. I went, yeah, you're correct. You're right, by the way, mate. But can you not see how problematic that is? Can you not see how problematic it is that a Burnley manager, who is presumably on the cusp of being sacked, is seen as far superior to the England manager presiding over the best array of talent this country has ever had? We are so capable of winning it, and we are wasting it on a loser in the dugout. That is what we're doing. And when I say loser, I don't mean it in the emotional sense of the word. I mean it in the true sense of the word. The way that the OED sees the word loser. Gareth Southgate is a loser. He loses. He doesn't win. As a player, he was a loser. I remember Chelsea, Villa. He was captain of the opposition. Chelsea won the cup. Obviously, as a player, there are examples, in the grey kit at Wembley. As a manager, loser. The reason England didn't win the Euros, the reason England didn't beat Italy, was Gareth Southgate. England playing at home in a final against an obviously beatable Italian team. An Italian team so obviously lacking in quality compared to England. An Italian team that didn't make the World Cup either side of this tournament that we're talking about. England playing at home. England go 1-0 up after 3 minutes. Luke Shaw pings it in, right? That day, it's actually unbelievable. That day, England didn't have another shot on target. We played 120 minutes of football at home in a final against a beatable Italian team. We had one shot on target. That shot was after 3 minutes. We allowed one of the most average Italian teams that we have ever seen to totally dictate the tempo. Jorginho, of all people, totally dictating the tempo. Roberto Mancini, totally dictating the tempo. Gareth Southgate, shrivelling under the pressure. And we're going to do it all over again. We are obviously going to do it all over again. And that's where we are. Gareth Southgate, I like him as a person. I don't like making this video. I don't like having to do these videos. I don't like attacking him in a professional capacity. But he is so out of his depth. And I'm so frustrated that England are going to waste yet another tournament upon Gareth Southgate. How many things is he going to clearly have to get wrong before we start talking about it? How is Jordan Henderson in this squad? Jordan Henderson played the other day in front of 800 fans. How is he in this squad? He is so clearly not supposed to be in this squad. How does Gareth Southgate ever get away with picking Calvin Phillips? How does Gareth Southgate possibly justify having Marcus Rashford, a man who has scored 1 goal this season, in a squad and leaving Raheem Sterling out of it? Raheem Sterling, the man who has scored more goals for Gareth Southgate internationally than anyone aside from Harry Kane, by the way. How can you possibly leave him out of this squad, the form he is in? How can you possibly leave him out of this squad when you've seen the performance that he put in against Manchester City, for example? The performances that he's put in this season time and time again. Luton at home, unplayable. Man City at home, unplayable. Raheem Sterling, one of Chelsea's best players by a mile, left out of the squad. And do you know what? I tried to rationalise it. I tried to be a little bit kind to Gareth Southgate and just understand the Sterling thing. You go, all right. Okay, maybe, Grealish on that side. Maybe you don't need Sterling. Maybe, and you go, okay, maybe it makes sense. And then you see some players drop out of the squad. So there's dropouts. So someone else has to get called up. And he still overlooks Raheem Sterling. It's just ludicrous. It really is. And the hypocrisy of it. Certain players aren't playing for their club, and therefore they couldn't possibly play for England. Harry Maguire selected every single game. The hypocrisy, the contortionist that is Gareth Southgate, just manoeuvring every situation to fit his narrative. Some players have to play, other players never have to play. Sometimes it's a meritocracy, sometimes it's not a meritocracy. One thing's for sure, England will not win the Euros. We should be going to Berlin to lift the Euros aloft. Germany won, didn't they? Germany won the Euros in 1996. It would be our opportunity to equalise that. But because of cowards at the FA not making a brave decision, because of Gareth Southgate's tenure lasting 7 years. How can we waste 7 years on someone so average? It's a real shame. A genuine heartbreaker. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please click subscribe. I'm going to bed.